Alright, today I'm going to show you my version of Regeneration Smash Red, Green, and Black deck. First thing, lands. I put 7 mountains in, 7 forests, and of course 6 swamps, which would equal out to 20. I'll explain why I have that assortment of lands in a few seconds. First thing first, in creatures and other things. Kavus. Need a lot of them. At least 15. Well, 14 minus 1 because one of the Kavus you will need is Raging Kavu. He's got haste and is also a 3/1. Another one of my favorites is Mire Kavu, who gets a bonus from swamps. Also, Hooded Kavu does. Kavu Aggressor and Pouncing Kavu have kicker prices, but they come out pretty well when you can summon the kicker prices. Amphibious Kavu is good against both black and blue because it gets +3/+3 when blocked or blocks one. Tundra Kavu is just for messing with people's heads, really. I like doing that sometimes. Fire Screamer takes advantage of the more reds in the Kavu area with his special effect. And of course, Serpentine Kavu on kind of last hope basis. He's the strongest in, well, my deck at least, naturally. Next thing is the Regenetory part. I at least keep 2 regenerations in my deck. I also put a couple creatures like Tel'Jalad Exile and Cadaverous Knight. Also Dredge Skeleton in my thing. Honestly, it's pretty good. Also Repopulate. One of my favorite instants. Bring back a shitload of monsters when you're weak. And, hey, mess with the opponent's head some more. Things like Venomous Dragonfly, Zombie Boa, and Tangle Asp will be pretty good because when they get blocked, say bye-bye to your creature. Also, effects from things such as Swamp Mosquito, Cackling Imp, and Pit Scorpion can also make your opponents have a bad day. Also, you can use Venomous Viper, but my friend has that in his deck, so I couldn't. I also keep some Lone Wolves in my deck, only because they can't be blocked. And to add to that, I add a few Crushing Pains. Deal 6 damage to anything that is dealt damage. Folk Medicine, which would be useful if I had some white mana in my deck, but you could add some if you want to. Also, Joyous Spirit. Make some use of that land besides mana. Clutch of Undeath would be much better for a zombie deck, but still can be used here on the more powerful Zombie Boa. Of course, one of my favorites, an artifact equipment, Whisper Silk Cloak. Basically, you can't touch this. Unearthly Blizzard is one of my more favorites. Basically, make up to 3 of the opponent's creatures useless when you're barraging them with weaklings or poisoners. Contaminated Bond also helps in that kind of effect because, hey, you attack or block, you lose 3 life. Creatures like Shadow Rider, Faceless Butcher, and Sandstone Warrior also help in just effect and really pissing off the opponent. I do that a lot too. Also, things like Swirling Sandstorm that have Threshold are always useful, especially when you have a deck that definitely will have more than 7 cards in the graveyard. And this has been brought to you by Shroom and Bloody M.